Hi guys, it has been a long time. I am Tara, this is Mattie, and welcome to my channel, mattietailsall. My apologies for how dark it is. As I mentioned in my last video in January, it is now July. And there she is. I don't know if you can even hear that, but our cat chewed up the cord to my ring light. So welcome all to our channel with no ring light. But anyways, I'm gonna get right to it because I have a feeling this video is going to be long and I want to get a lot of information out. I really feel that this is important to me and to everyone that's ever been impacted by Mattie and her life, her existence. Hi. So she is practically 12. We don't need to get technical, but she has been a part of my family and this family since 2012, March of 2012 to now, and I am coming on here to let everybody know that she is going to be leaving this world and going to heaven this Friday. So I feel it's appropriate to give her this send-off. We're doing a lot of things for her, of course, that other people have done with their animals as well. But this is part of what I'm doing for her and others, myself, to document again, as I've done throughout this whole series, her life. So Mattie has been, I had to take my glasses off to read, isn't that funny? But she has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. It is circumanal adenocarcinoma with lympharic invasion that has metastasized and a possible UTI. So basically, we took her in to the vet yesterday, and thankfully my mom was able to switch an appointment that she had with Bella so that we could get her in. I saw this mass on her hind end only less than a week ago, and Mattie had started collapsing just days before that, and so this has all been very sudden. It is an aggressive cancer, and as I said, they gave her days yesterday. So we went through getting x-rays to see this mass that is going from her anus to her pelvis, and including her surrounding her bladder and her lymph nodes. Like I said, it has metastasized. So where was I? I'm so happy that you are just in it in this video. This, as some of you guys know, she loves to just lay down, and sometimes she doesn't really raise up at all, but I'm really glad that she's being a part of this, and I know she is panting. She just had her dinner. Gosh, A lot of you know her history. For those of you that don't know her history or are just tuning into the channel, go back to my first video if you want, if you'd like, and it explains, you know, kind of tells her story there as well of how I got her and everything. But I want to just kind of like touch on I brainstormed and put all these things together. Like I said, they are not in chronological order, but they are things that I have wanted to document and speak about her like I would if we were having a memorial service for her, because that's what I want to do. So I'm going to do it. I'm also going to try to keep it together. And so, like I said, this is probably going to be long-winded. First off, all people, kids, adults, family, friends, like just random people, everybody loves Mattie. They are her favorite dog. Everybody that's met her is what I mean. Loves her as their favorite dog of our pack, and she has that ability to touch everyone in such a sweet manner and fashion that she's very lovable, very, very lovable, and she's been the best foster sister and dog sitting friend to, gosh, we've had, I want to say around like 20 plus fosters and dogs that have come through. Probably closer to 30 now. Yeah, I feel comfortable saying that. She's a comforter to them after they've had their spay or neuter. She's a snuggler, cuddler. She's a balanced dog, so she doesn't play hard. So if there are dogs that are nervous dogs or dogs that are even can't handle high energy, she's been great for them as well. She loves every dog. Not to say that she hasn't had them not like her at the moment for whatever reason, because that dog in particular had some issues, but Mattie is a lover, not a fighter. She just true to the bone. That's who she is. She is a lover of dogs, a lover of people. She also loves to dress up. And she has been, not every dog likes that stuff, they don't want stuff on their head or around their neck or on their body, and it bothers them, but she has always loved to dress up with anything that I want to put on her. So that's always been fun. And some foods that she's always liked, we're doing some really special things for her. For her bucket list is pretty much just what she does all the time anyways, is she loves to eat, sleep, and repeat. Basically, that's her. So she's always loved popcorn. That's a memory that we have together. When it was just the two of us, we would share popcorn. And she's always loved scrambled eggs. If I'm making eggs or scrambling them, like beating them with a fork, she will jump down from wherever she's at or come over to the kitchen, because she knows that, well, she can smell it for one, but for two, she knows that sound too. And so I've always loved that. And she used to get pizza crust a lot before I tried to watch her, I was feeding her I would give her pizza crust, and of course she loves bacon like what dog doesn't, but and whipped cream like the puppuccinos, and or just like from the deal. She loves all things food except for like fruits and veggies. Random ones, like very few she likes, but recently, as I said in one of my other videos, I've been making the cakes for them that have pumpkin and peanut butter and applesauce mixture and stuff in them, and they have Greek yogurt on the top. If you look at any of the social media, under mattietailsall, any of it has videos and stuff of her getting cake and all the other dogs getting cake, because basically when we celebrate one dog's gotcha day or adoptiversary or foster birthday, everyone gets cake, or everyone gets, if we do breakfast time or whatever the special treat is, everybody always gets a taste of it. So she's definitely had herself lots of treats and cake and stuff. So as for other things that she loves, she hasn't always loved the kiddie pool. She very rarely would get in, and to the point where I put her in the first time with my mom, actually on a 4th of July. It must have been 2013, I would say. But when we had a swimming pool, the big pools, she loved to swim. I mean, she had her life jacket on, and she loved to swim. So who knew? But I am going to come back to this one. But when I first got Mattie, I put us in training. Hey Mattie, can you come over here please? Yeah, they can't see your face. They cannot see your face. There we go. But I put us into training PetSmart. I'm gonna bring this closer. Does that help? Oh, that's as low as it goes. I cannot see you. And it's starting to get dark. I'm trying to, there we go. There's a little bit. Capture any moment that you can of her. But I knew I had to get to this video because I definitely did not want to miss my opportunity. And like I said, it's probably going to be long-winded, but hopefully some of you will even just listen to it if you want, and you don't have to watch it. Yeah, so I put us into training, and we took walks a lot, way more than we did later, because like the more and more dogs we got, we didn't do as many walks. Plus, as she's been getting older, she doesn't want to walk anymore. But training her and myself really helped with the grief that I was trying to work through during that time in 2012. And I'll come back to that, but taking care of her has always helped put my mind at ease, and distracted me in a way if I needed it. She's always been, well, let me say this. And I would take her to the groomers too at PetSmart at that time, because we just had one dog, so I could actually afford to do the grooming instead of doing it at the house like we've done for years now. But I would take her to the groomer, and the PetSmart groomer would always send home the little notes about, and I love Mattie, and I just loved getting those because she brought joy to even the people that were grooming her. She never had issues at the groomers, or and the rarity that I would ever go to a dog park, she was great at the dog parks. We did take her a handful of times because not a fan, but I don't need to go into that since I'm rambling about so many things. I won't go off on that tangent, but when it was just her and I, we traveled. Even we went to the beach numerous times, to restaurants. We traveled one time. We drove with my parents to Arizona. She did not pee the entire way because it was raining. That was interesting. I did not know a dog could hold it for that long. But I would take her to go visit, when I would go visit my grandma and the nursing home. And she has gone to a memorial service for my great aunt Inez as well. I would take her to work. My boss was a huge fan of dogs. I say was because he did pass away in 2020. But he was a huge fan of dogs and saving dogs, and he would, just a quick little insert, he would sponsor adoption events at the shelters. And it's been really awesome that his family, his daughters, continue that to this day in remembrance of him. They have an annual time that they sponsor adoptions at the shelters to clear the shelters, and I've always thought that is absolutely amazing. So but yeah, he used to let me bring her to work if she was not feeling too good, or if she had a vet appointment, or if it was National Take Your Dog to Work Day. He was just great about that. And so turn the page. Bring. Funny enough, the next thing on here is grief, and that we did everything together for 2 years before we met Matt, my husband. So 2 years of our lives together. Like I said, we went everywhere together, and she helped me keep my mind occupied. I want to find, she's been my devoted companion and, best friend during that time, to make me smile and focus on her and anything other than the grief. I don't want to say that by I didn't work through my grief. I did. I did go to grief counseling at my church, and I also had a grief counselor that I saw on a regular basis for 2 years. So I did work through that at the same time as, I want to make that clear that I did. And I would recommend that to anyone going through grief, working through that, and being with anything, like-minded people. It is always a good thing. I believe in that. So I'm going to go back over here. So a couple other things that, I said she loves to eat, sleep, and repeat, but she has always been the one to sleep in the bed
for literally the majority of our lives together, she has been in the bed. Very rare occasions has there been a dog that wasn't at least with her in the bed as well. Very, very rare. So that's going to be a tough one. But she also would hover over me until I woke up. And she does it to Matt sometimes too. But she would do that whenever she wanted to go under the covers. She would just hover. And I'd wake up with her just staring down like, I need to go under. So we would lift it up and she would go under. So I want to throw that in there. Some things that she used to do when she was, I want to say puppy, but she acted like a puppy even though she was like 1.5 years. She got fixed when I got her as well. So that helped her to calm down a little bit. I say calm down and people will be like, what are you talking about? But she used to be very, I don't want to say very wild because that would be describing Opal, not her. But she did have some high energy. She would dig holes, like crater holes. I kid you not. And so that was one of her favorite pastimes, was digging holes, and of course eating poop. That one stuck. With Mattie, I went through so many different, and I said this in my first video and I'll say it again, but we went through so many different types of leashes and training tools, of me just trying to figure out what works, because different things work with different dogs, and I still believe that that's still a true statement to this day. We also went through different types of food, and I'm being repetitive to the first video as well, saying that, but we have, because I didn't know anything about what types of food to give your dog other than like the bag is the cheapest. No clue, but learned a lot. And I do follow a few natural pet doctors and things like that. I definitely believe in holistic and natural foods and herbs, and we would be doing that with her if she did not have such an aggressive and terminal cancer. And we will be doing those things that I have researched with our boy Oscar. So I will go into that another time, because that's also a tangent that I don't want to dive into at the moment. But Mattie has been in a magazine, Be Tough, Bakersfield Tough, locally here. She's been in a magazine. It's just her picture. It's not like an article or anything like that. But she has been in a magazine, featured in a magazine, and she's been on radio shows, the Scott Cox radio show, and she's also been in TV commercials for Bill Wright Toyota and North Bakersfield Toyota. So she's got to be a star in these things, and she's just met and made an impression on so many people at such a level that I am so very proud for what she's represented for the pit bull breed. Well, I say breed, even though there's not a standard. Well, American Pit Bull Terrier is what we believe that she fully is. We've never done a DNA test or anything, but
but it's kind of besides the point. My point is, for the bully breeds in general, she has been such a positive representative for that, and I couldn't be more proud of her. I started all of my social medias with Mattie. My Instagram, Shack_pack, and then later on, after starting this channel, mattietailsall, I did, all the socials with that name. But so many people know my stuff from her face. And that's why they followed. They didn't follow for me. They followed for her. And I love that. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. They have some look-alike dogs that just look just like Mattie. And that's been fun to see. Just the crazy off chance of one person lives in Canada and another person, I'm not sure where she lives, but anyways, look-alike dogs, or dogs with the same name, but they spell it differently. It's just kind of funny, but people have done, friends on my socials have done edits of her, and I've purchased artwork with her. But throughout this whole video, I'm hoping to insert pictures here and there, probably right in this area, considering it's massive, not including her, but it's okay. It's okay. Hopefully you guys will not be too concerned about the fact that you can't see her, because I don't want to make her do too much right now. So even how I met Matt, that I've explained before, I was at my neighbor's house at the time, and she would play with his dogs, so I would take her over all the time, and he was going after her to play with her, and I'm like, who's this guy? And she kind of took that same approach the very first time, like, who's this guy? And then the second time that we were all around together, she did play with him, and we ended up getting together that evening, and didn't stop seeing each other since. That was in 2014. But anyways, she has always been around neighbors and neighbors' dogs and everything. We have a friend of mine that would come over all the time and visit with Mattie, and like I said, she would call her favorite as well, and she met all of our foster dogs, and well, up until recently, because she did pass away. But so just in June, but she'll get to see her soon. But she's never really cared for bath time until last year also, when she started, a year or two ago, she started jumping in the bathtub to get her baths, and she sadly doesn't do that now, so I won't be giving her a bath before, because she has been, as I said, collapsing. So, okay, last page. Bring! So, I will say some funky things about her, is that, I'll admit this, I am completely fine with her licking my armpit. I love it. It doesn't bother me at all. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite thing for her to do, but I don't mind it at all. I just said I love it, and then I said it wasn't my favorite thing, but it's not. So put that together.
But I also love the smell of her breath. And I say that lightly because I don't like the smell of poop, obviously. But I'm not referring to when she has just consumed a turd. But I do love her morning breath, and that's a little ritual that we've always had too, where she's always loved to smell my breath. So it obviously started out with her smelling my breath, and I'd say, "Good morning," and she would just sniff my breath. I don't imagine it smelled that good, but she loves me anyways. So Mattie's never liked to be carried really or picked up, but Matt picked her up one time when, gosh, it was I guess it would be a year, almost a year after we had met, all of us, and everything got together and all that. We were leaving the Sportsman Shows, this big, annual event, and it was raining. And so he had to pick her up to carry her to the vehicle because we were basically running. Neither one of us like the rain or being wet. I like the smell of rain and to be under a covering with the rain around. Don't get me wrong. But just last night, he picked her up and held her, and she just let him. He held her while I was making the bed so that he could place her on the bed, because she's been having troubles jumping up on the bed because she wants to jump on the bed still, even though we have stairs. And it's confusing to her because she's always been about having her rug. There has to be a rug there so that she can use it for traction to get up. Like right now there's a yoga mat on the floor so that she can always use that for traction to get up on the couch. It's just how she's always been. If you remove that, she is going to freak out. So, but it was, I know it meant a lot to him to be able to hold her while I was getting the bed ready for her. So she also loves not listening to him, which I've always found hilarious, because there's a video that I have, and I will try to insert some things, but I'll also you'll just have to take my word for it, because this video would be like 4 hours if I inserted everything. But there's a video where he's calling her name over and over again, and she's not raising her head, and I say it one time and she pops up. Favorite. But also she does, a lot of times she will sleep pushed up against him. I love when she sleeps next to me, of course I do. And I did get, not gonna lie, I did get angry the first time that she wanted to sleep next to him. Yeah. So, but I've long since got over that. But she also comforted him at the time that he lost the love of his life in dog form, Lady. He came back to the house and spent time with Mattie, went directly to Mattie, and I knew that he was doing that, so I deliberately stayed driving around town so that they could have that time together, because I know how amazing she is at comforting, and I wanted him to have that from her. And I could be there later to comfort in my own way. And so I love that. I know that he's going to miss her severely as well. I was going to talk about her relationships with Oscar and Opal and Cammy and the dogs that I haven't got to do videos with. Zeke, her newest Chihuahua since we lost Ren, and Luna, both. And I didn't get to do a video with Luna before she passed. So I'll just have to keep those as separate videos at this point since it is getting late. But so I will have to, you guys will have to keep tuning in, because I'm not going anywhere, but I'll probably take another quick break after Friday. But I am going to continue the channel, and I'm going to continue her social pages so that I can raise awareness for her particular cancer, as well as cancer in dogs in general, and different things that we do to end up doing with treatment with Oscar, and so on. So please stay subscribed and keep the notifications on, if you will, because I will continue to in some fashion. I'm gonna try to wrap this up as quickly as I can, but I wanted to touch on, I can't make this video without talking about at least mentioning the person that she's named after, and the reason why I even have her, that she even exists in my life. And his name was Matthew. He passed away in February of 2012. An unforgettable time of my life with him, and he was very special to me, and I decided to name her after him. I chose the name before I even got her, because I knew that that's what I wanted to do. He had a bully breed, he had a pit bull, and I decided that's the exact type of dog that I wanted. And his family and I would always do monthly sunrise pictures, because the sun rose the morning that he passed. She had captured a picture, and so it just became a tradition that we did for the first year. And so Mattie, I would get up with her and take pictures just on that anniversary date of each month, and take sunrise pictures. I've always been a huge fan of sunsets, and not so much sunrises, because I used to not be an early riser, but now I am with dogs, having dogs, and especially our newest foster that likes to wake me up at like 4:30 in the morning. But anyways, I've always been a fan of sunsets, and like we would always watch them at the beach, my parents and I, and so that came pretty naturally for us to enjoy those together. And I had many a night of just being out in the backyard with Mattie and talking to people that I've lost, loved ones that I've lost in my life. And I love that I have that memory with her. She's always, like I said, been the one to help me with grief. So I don't know, well, I do know what I will do, but her not being there to help me with the grief of losing her is a rough one. So they're just losing all light. But if I don't do this video, I will regret it for the rest of my life. So
I don't care. I don't care that it's dark. It didn't go exactly as planned, but it still happened, and that's what matters to me. So I want to say that, you know, it does, and I'm referring to my notes because there's just so much when it comes to this girl. But she, honestly, it fills my heart. It fills my heart to think of, you know, all the parts of my life that she has been involved in. So much of my life, everyday life, of whatever mood I'm in, we're in, dogs are in, everything that she's just been there for all of these years, for over a decade of my life. But she is the one who started it all, and there'll never be another one. And so with that, we will sign off with a kiss. Can we sign off with a kiss? I love you so. Thank you guys for sticking with me and for loving on Mattie. Good night.